struggle with. If you don't know, I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach teens and adults. I teach in the Midwest. Number one is braking. A lot of beginners slamming the brake. You want to use the ball of your foot. You want to wear a thin sole shoes. If I could name some shoes, Converse are good shoes, Crocs are good shoes, worn out gym shoes. Shoes that might cause you difficulty, really thick, hard running shoes, not hating, really thick, brand new Nikes because they're not flexible. You want to have a shoe that is going to be flexible so you can squeeze and feel the ball of the brake. Next, using the clutch. A lot of beginners just don't have that hand to foot coordination when you are using a clutch. You have to push in the clutch, up is 1. You push in the clutch, down is 2. You push in the clutch, up is 3. You push in the clutch, down is 4. As a beginning driver, you have to learn those fundamentals. I know how to drive a manual. It took me a while to learn. I was always lifting my foot off the clutch and basically killing the car. If I would take a test doing that, I would fail my driver's test because I'm not used to driving a manual. If you're in a country where you have to learn how to drive a manual, you need to learn how to do that. Next, let's talk about steering. There's more than one way to hold the steering wheel. There's a 9 and 3. There's 10 and 2. There's 7 and 5. There's 4 and 8. You need to find a steering wheel hand position that works for you. You're going to learn from me, your instructor. You're going to learn from your mom. You're going to learn from your dad. You're going to learn from your best friend. There's more than one way to turn the steering wheel. There's hand over hand. There's hand to hand. There is underhand. We now have people who do not have an arm. And as long as they learn how to maneuver and steer the vehicle, they can drive. So we want to make sure we're giving people the right opportunity. We don't want to penalize anyone who is not turning 100% correctly. If they mastered the skill, they should be able to pass. Let's talk about lane positioning. You want to stay within your lane. Recently, I had some videos that are out there that talk about lane positioning. I'm in North America. Our steering wheel's on the left side of the car. We drive on the right side of the road. Many other places, such as Australia, India, and the UK, they drive on the left. The steering wheel's on the right. You have to learn lane positioning. You need to be able to keep your steering wheel centered. You need to be able to look to the right. In North America, we have a white line on the edge of the road. That is called your edge line or fog line. If it's foggy outside, that line can be used to help you. We have a broken white line to the left. That means if traffic is clear, we're going in one direction, we can change lanes. If not, we have a yellow line to the left. In India, they do not have a lot of paved roads. You have to learn lane positioning. You have to learn to keep yourself centered in the lane. Using your turn signal, it seems very simple, but it's not. A lot of beginners have no idea when to turn on the turn signal, when to turn it off. You need to turn on your blinker 100 feet or a half a city block prior to you making your turn. You want to go into your turn slow. You want to squeeze your brakes and gradually release the brake or shift down into a second or third gear. Gradually squeeze the brake and or clutch and then gently look left, look right before you accelerate into your turn. Indicating intentions to turn or change lanes. Whenever you turn or whenever you change lanes, you must use your blinker. This is a common fault or failure if you don't practice using your blinker. Let's talk about making U-turns, which is on some maneuverability tests across the United States, as well as in the UK, in Australia, or India, performing a U-turn when safe, and it has to be legal. You want to look around, check for signs. If there are no signs and it's clear, you are legally safe to do that. You want to be able to look and check, make sure traffic is clear on both sides, traffic coming towards you and traffic going away from you. You look, you check your mirror, you look over your shoulder. If it's clear, turn on your blinker, check, and perform that maneuver. Gently accelerate out. Backing up, a really difficult maneuver for a lot of beginning drivers. You have to practice backing into your driveway, backing into your college parking lot area, backing into your high school parking lot area. If you don't practice backing, you won't be able to do the maneuverability test. I'm in North America. The road test that we have, you have to pull up to a stop line. The front end of the car cannot go over it. You have to reverse and back in just like backing into a driveway. And the last one is the parallel park. This fails a lot of students. You as a driver have to be able to properly maneuver and execute a parallel park. You want to pull your car forward. You want to reverse back halfway. You cut your steering wheel all the way to the right. The rear will go on at a 45 angle, and then you turn back to the left. You have to be able to maneuver this and execute this maneuver. If you don't, you will not get your license. Perpendicular parking, parking the vehicle at a 90-degree angle from the curb. These spots are at malls, they're at colleges, they're at stadiums, they're at huge downtown areas. You have to be able to turn your vehicle and get it into the spot evenly. You want to have space on the left, you want to have space on the right. If you're hugging the right, someone's going to hit your door. If you're hugging the left, someone is going to hit your door. The key thing is get your car properly centered so you can pull evenly into the spot. 3-point turnarounds or a turnabout. Executing a 3-point turnaround to reverse direction on a narrow road. These maneuvers are challenging, and if you don't learn this in your level 1, you're going to be faced with this on your maneuverability test, on your road test, or when you head to a downtown area. So you have to practice some of these maneuvers that you don't normally practice. Entering traffic, extremely important. You want to turn on your left blinker. You want to look over your shoulder, check your center mirror and your rear mirror. You look, you check, you accelerate into the nearest lane, L-A-N-E. You want to keep your turn short, you want to accelerate smoothly, and you want to get up to speed. A lot of beginning drivers don't even look over their shoulder. If I'm pulling out to the left, this is my left shoulder, I have to look and check my blind spot. Looking in my mirror does not fully allow me to see the area. You have to turn in your blinker. So when you're entering traffic, you want to merge into traffic smoothly, you want to build up speed. Exiting traffic is the same thing. You want to signal early, you want to signal often, you want to get into a good speed control so you can slow your car down or downshift into a fourth, a third, or a second. Then you're able to maneuver your car properly. Yielding the right of way, another area where beginners fail their test. The first car to get there at an intersection is the first car to leave. If two cars come together, the car on the right has the right of way. If you're not sure, the right of way can be given. If you're at a partially controlled intersection and you have a stop sign or yield sign or any type of signage, you have to yield. Then allow the cars that do not have a sign to go. If you're not sure, the right of way can be given. Managing intersections. Intersections are some of the most dangerous places. As an instructor, I want to remind you, you need to pay particular attention to the intersections. You need to look left, middle, and right. I have to see you looking. If you don't look, I will mark you down. Why? People run lights, trucks, cars, older drivers, younger drivers, drivers not paying attention, delivery drivers. You have to have that defensive mindset, S-E-T. So navigating intersections has signs, stops, yield signs, stop lines, and crosswalks. It's so easy to get confused. When you stop, you look. And if the sign saying no turn on red, do not turn. That is an automatic failure. Dealing with roundabouts, you want to be able to yield to traffic already in the roundabout. You want to come up and yield. You want to look to the left. You want to look to the right. You have to watch for pedestrians. Yield to traffic already in the roundabout. Once you've yielded and it's clear, accelerate through. If you're going to the right, just as you enter, turn on your right turn signal. Look to the right. There could be a pedestrian. Managing speed. Speed control is one of the most important things, and a lot of beginning drivers fail because they're going over speed. There are two types of drivers when you're in that learning phase. There are drivers that go very slow. They're actually a hazard. They can create an accident. They're holding up the flow of the traffic. From my experience, if you drive too slow, you're going to get caught at lights. Two things will happen. One, you're going to have to slam brakes, which is dangerous. You'll get rendered. Or two, this is even more dangerous. You're going to have to run the light, which is potential grounds for failure because that is a dangerous maneuver. I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed telling you this. I'm a state certified driving instructor. I have a podcast. It's called Driving with Myles, Myles. It's on Spotify. If this brought you value, subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up. I want to say thank you. Bye.